Hello and welcome back to Green Flag Media. In today's news, Aston Martin is rumored to be bringing upgrades for the Australian Grand Prix. McLaren poach Aston Martin's head of aero performance and analysis, and a former Formula 1 world champion says that Daniel Ricciardo's career as a starting driver is over. But before we get into it, if you enjoy Formula 1 content, we would greatly appreciate you all liking this video and subscribing to Green Flag Media for regular F1 news and content. First up, Aston Martin, who is a customer team of Mercedes in F1, is reportedly bringing updates to the rear wing of its AMR23 car to the Australian Grand Prix instead of Azerbaijan. The Mercedes-inspired design is larger near the floor, affecting airflow through the car's diffuser. The current rear wing for Aston Martin is not generating enough drag for their car, and this update is expected to make them more competitive at the front of the grid. Despite Fernando Alonso's third-place podium finishes in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, he has been significantly off the pace of the dominating Red Bulls, and the rear wing could be having a huge impact on this. Red Bull is expected to continue dominating in the early stages of the long season ahead, but the general consensus within the paddock is that other teams, including Aston Martin, will close the gap to them. Let us know in the comments if you think any teams have a chance of catching up to Red Bull. Next up, we have McLaren making a big push to improve the performance of its Formula 1 team by recruiting top talent from across the industry. One of the key figures in McLaren's recruitment drive is Mariano Alperin, who is currently Aston Martin's head of aero performance and analysis. Alperin has a great deal of experience in F1, having had spells at AGS and Minardi before joining British American Racing and eventually becoming head of aerodynamics at Honda from 2006 to 2007. After Honda, he became head of aerodynamic development at Sauber from 2008 until 2019, before moving across to Aston Martin as chief of aerodynamic technology. Alperin has played a key role in transforming Aston Martin into one of Red Bull's nearest challengers in Formula 1 this season. McLaren hopes that he will bring this expertise to its own team, helping it to move further up the grid. Alperin is just one of many top-level personnel who have agreed to join McLaren as part of its recruitment drive. The company has been pushing hard to sign further talent after a review of its organization over the winter revealed that its aerodynamics department was not as good as it needed to be. McLaren CEO Zak Brown has made it clear that he believes the squad structure has been lacking in recent years. He says that the changes being implemented now will set the wheels in motion to turn things around. Brown has been vocal about his ambition to return McLaren to the front of the grid, and it seems that the company's recruitment efforts are a key part of this plan. With Alperin and other top-level personnel on board, McLaren will be hoping to achieve its goals and challenge for the top spots in F1 once again. And to wrap up this video, former Australian Formula 1 world champion, Alan Jones, claims that Daniel Ricciardo will not return to the grid. Ricciardo has had a successful career, having scored 8 race wins, 3 pole positions, 32 podium finishes and 16 fastest laps during his time with Red Bull, Renault and McLaren. However, his spell with McLaren was the worst in his career, as he only stepped on the podium once in Monza 2021. Last year, McLaren ended Ricciardo's contract and he eventually returned to Red Bull as a reserve driver. Despite Ricciardo's hopes of securing a full-time seat in the future, Jones doubts his future in the sport and criticizes him for spending too much time on his off-track activities. Jones thinks Ricciardo won't get a drive at Red Bull unless something drastic happens to the two current drivers, and he does not see any other plausible landing spots. Jones concludes that Ricciardo's career as a starting driver on the Formula 1 grid is over. Let us know in the comments if you see Daniel Ricciardo making it back on the starting grid. Thank you all for watching this video. If you made it this far, please drop a like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.